Hey, Chastity, it's RJ Bates. How are you doing?
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes,
Hey, this is RJ Bates from Titanium Investments. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm currently driving though, so
Well, I really want to buy that property on Carl Street.
okay.
I sent you a text the other day. I said I'm willing to give you the 30,000. You said I just wanted to know if there's anything that I need to know about. I mean, it's still like a standing structure, right?
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. We currently live in it, so yeah,
Got
no,
you.
it's definitely yeah.
I just wanted to make like I know you were busy the other day. I'm like, man, like that's exactly what I'm looking for. So I don't know what your timeline is or anything like that, but I'd love to be the person that you sell that house to.
Okay. Yeah, we're not in any kind of a crunch. We're not in any like it's. We have another house that we bought in Muncie.
Okay.
And we're actually thinking about selling that one too because we're thinking about moving like 2 hours away. So,
hey, I kind of like Ball State's football uniform, so I'm not opposed to buying a deal in Muncie.
Well, that one we're asking if we do decide to sell it. That one is an 80,000 firm.
Okay. Well. I wouldn't have a problem with taking a look at that one and seeing what's going on there. What's the timeline of when you would want to sell Carl Street?
I don't really have like a time frame, honestly. That's something I probably have to go over with my husband to try to figure out like what he wants to, like how he wants to go about it and everything else. Oh my gosh, come on. There we go. Oh, sorry, I'm trying to pull into a parking spot. Yeah, that would have to be, and I'm obviously currently not at home. So
yeah, I got you.
I have to ask him when I got back home to see like what his time frame is. Because
I mean, if you say it's like 30 days, that's perfect. That's minimum what it takes anyways. If you say it's 90 days, that's okay. We can work around that. So realistically, it's just whenever you guys say like, hey, this is when we really want to sell the house, that's what I can put down as the closing date.
I gotcha.
So yeah, realistically, our process is pretty simple. We send you over a contract, you sign it, we come out, we walk the property, just verify some, what it looks like on the inside. We make our plans for what we're going to do to the property. And then, whenever you're set to close, that's when we close. So realistically, the only couple of things I need from you is when you want to close on Carl Street. So then I can send you a contract on that. And then I just need the address for the Muncie house so I can take a look at that.
That one, the one in Muncie is 713 South Catalpa Drive.
How do you spell that?
Catalpa.
Gotcha. And is that vacant or is it occupied?
No, it is vacant currently.
And does it need any work to it?
It does. The owners that we bought it from went through, like the house is set up kind of funny. I think originally, or well, not originally, at some point in time, it was set up as two separate properties, like two separate houses. The original owners didn't have it set up that way, but some point after the original owner sold it, it was turned into two separate properties. There's two separate meters. There's two everything. So although the whole house runs off of one meter, there are two meters there. And now it's the back half of the house, they went through and I don't want to say completely gutted it, but almost completely gutted the whole back half of the house.
It looks huge. Is it?
It is. It's massive. Like, it's absolutely massive.
Is it 3,800 square feet?
Yes.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's a massive house. It's a beautiful, once it gets done, it'll be an absolutely beautiful, beautiful house. And there's a pond right out behind it that everybody that lives around that pond has access to. There's a pool. There's an in-ground pool that is fenced in that belongs to that house. Like, it's an absolutely gorgeous house.
Is the pool in good shape?
As far as we can tell, it is. We took the cover off, and there's still quite a bit of standing water. I would say there's at least 4 foot of standing water in it.
Okay.
It would have to be drained to make sure there aren't any issues with it, but we haven't done that yet. Just because we're not there, so we're not, really gonna mess with it right now. It wasn't one of our top priorities. But as far as like what the owners that we bought it from said, she said they had someone come out and look at it, and they told her that because there was standing water in it, and I think the highest it goes is like 5 foot, so it's not like super, super deep. But she said that they told her that because there was water and there was still water in it, it hadn't like seeped out anywhere to anything. That was a good sign. The only thing I can say about like that would be wrong is there is a gas line that goes to the pool to heat it, but there was a leak in that gas line, so that line is capped off.
Gotcha. The pictures that are on Zillow from when you bought it, does it pretty much look the same?
No, it does not. We had gone through. There were 5 bedrooms initially. Was it 5? 1, 2, 3, 4. Might have been 4. I can't remember what it was. The 2 rooms that were in the front. There's 3 up in the front and 1 in the back. There were 2 of them. We knocked the walls out between those 2 rooms to make that room bigger.
Okay.
And then we've enclosed. Obviously, it can be, a wall can be put right back up. It is what it is. But we've already redone the drywall in both of those rooms. The bathroom, the one bathroom that you see with the stand-up shower, that has been knocked out, the tile, everything, and that was absolutely horrible. So we knocked all of that out of there. The drain and everything for the shower is still there, so obviously one could be put back. But it would have had to have been redone anyway because the tiles were coming off the walls, and it was just that whole bathroom was completely full of mold that we've went through and redone. We took out all the drywall, redone everything in that bathroom. The one bathroom that you can see that is completely gutted has been rewired. I'm trying to think.
So what were y'all's plans were to buy it and like rehab it to live there, or were your plans to flip it?
Yeah, no, it was to live there.
Gotcha. So now you're kind of like, hey, we've got Carl and we've got Catalpa. Let's get rid of both and move somewhere else, right?
Yeah, basically, yes.
Okay, so Catalpa, you don't care about when to close on that one because it's just a vacant house. You're kind of like, give me my money.
Right.
I got you. Okay, and then so I could do research on Catalpa. I had already looked at Carl Street, and to be clear on Carl Street, so you want $30,000 for that one. You just need time to essentially figure out where you're going to go and when your husband wants to do that.
Correct.
Gotcha. Well, and on Carl Street, what is there anything that like I need to know about rehab wise on that one that needs to be done?
There are, so I will tell you in the back of the house, there is like, it's where our washer and dryer sits, and in the back bathroom, the floor is not very good. So that flooring, the whole flooring will probably need to be replaced.
All right.
The roof, I don't know how old it is. So that is probably something that will have to be replaced eventually.
Right.
It is a metal roof. So that is a possibility to just fix it. We don't have any leaks. There's no leaks or anything like that you can definitely see where prior owners had patched a small section in it. You may be able to just seal it and be done with it. It may be something as simple as that. As far as, like I said, there's no leaks. There's nothing like that.
The problem is it's one of those metal roofs that it's very easy to see that if there is damage, the damage stands out, I mean, it's just that flat standing seam and it's red, so it kind of, really stands out like, hey, look at this huge dent right here,
Right. Yeah. Again, we've owned that house for 5 years. And again, we've never had any leaks or anything like that.
Gotcha.
There was a fire. I will tell you, there was a fire about 3 years ago in the kitchen, but that's all been redone. Everything's been rewired. Everything's been redone completely. It says there's I believe it says there's 2.5 baths. Like when you look it up, there are 2.5 baths. The one bathroom was this little bitty bathroom off of the kitchen, and we've actually moved that. So now it's 3. No, it still is actually 5 bedrooms. There were 6 bedrooms total, but now there's 5. Because we took the bathroom and moved it into one of the downstairs bedrooms to make it a bigger bathroom.
Gotcha.
Reran all the plumbing for it, all of that. Reran new wiring, everything. So all of that's been done. It needs work. It's an old house. I mean, that's just, it's an old house. So
I assumed as
nothing that's major.
Right. I assumed as much. I mean, I know me and you had a brief conversation the other day, and I was like, how much do you want for it? And you're like, 30. And I was like, sounds exactly like what I want. I mean,
right.
I mean, it's like, I assume when you said 30,000, it needs work, I mean.
Right. From my estimate, from what I've been told, it roughly needs about $20,000 worth of work.
Okay. I'm going to assume it probably needs a little bit more than that. Just, I mean, normally when somebody says 20, I'm like, all right, let's say 30,
Right.
Just that's kind of the norm there. Brandon is your husband, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So what I can do is I have your email, I think. What I have is what I do need is I need Brandon's email. Can you give that to me?
Yes.
Do you know how often it is when I ask a significant other what their spouse's email is and they don't know it? Because you never end up emailing your significant other. It's like people are always like, hey, that's a good question. I had someone the other day, they literally had to call their spouse to ask what their email was.
Oh, yeah, no. The only reason I know is because he has 2, and
right.
I have to know which one he actually goes through to you.
So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to analyze Catalpa a little bit more. Probably send you a contract on that one. And then on Carl Street, let me ask you, what would you think about if I sent you the contract for the 30 and I put on the closing date to be determined when the sellers find their new property to move into? So that way we're not putting a firm date where it's like, hey, you've got it. Because honestly, it's going to be we're going to work with you regardless. So it's like, I don't even care if it's 6 months from now, to be honest with you.
Right. And that's fine with me. That should be perfectly fine.
My question is because I do buy a lot of houses. What city are you wanting to move to?
Lebanon. Close to it anyway.
Pennsylvania?
No, Indiana.
Oh, ha! I was about to say, no way! I have a lead in Lebanon, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, no, this is in Indiana. This is so like Lebanon, Noblesville, right in that, which I know Noblesville is like 35, 40 minutes away from Lebanon, but like in that general area, Brownsburg.
All right, let me see my system here, because that would be cool if I bought 2 houses and sold you one. I got nothing. I got Lebanon, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania, but not Indiana. You said Noblesville?
Correct.
I have 1, 2, 3. I have 3 leads in Noblesville, Indiana.
Okay.
2 of those I put in dead leads, which means they probably wanted, it probably wasn't a good investment. It was probably they wanted close to retail. So what are you guys looking for? Are you looking for retail, or you sound like the kind of people that kind of want to buy a fixer-upper?
We do, and it's just because my dad is a licensed electrician, and my husband does mostly, both of us actually could go in and do drywall and painting, and I have a guy who does plumbing. So I'm like, we don't need something that's like perfect to move. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that's just not, we don't need that.
Gotcha.
Would it be nice, sure, to not have, to move in and not have to do anything? Absolutely. But we don't mind the not having, it not being perfect.
Well, I will obviously follow up with both of those, or all 3 of those sellers, and just see like, hey, are you guys still interested in selling? Where are you at? And just see if there's some interest there. But in the meantime, like I said, I'll probably send you those 2 contracts. I'll just put Catalpa for probably 30 days from now. So probably, late July. And then Carl, I'll just keep it like to be determined whenever you guys find a place. So that way there's no pressure on y'all. And then the only thing I ask is like when y'all do find a place, just give me like a couple weeks notice,
Okay, yeah, sure.
Not one of those days where it's like, hey, we got that place. Can you close tomorrow? It's like, oh, nice to see you guys again.
Right, and that's understandable. That's absolutely understandable.
Yeah. So yeah, we should be good on both of those. So yeah, I'll get those sent over to you guys today. And yeah, let me also give you did you get my text message that I sent you the other day?
I did.
Okay. So that's my cell phone number. And then this is the office line. So if you ever need anything here, anybody can help you on my team. You'll actually, after you sign the contract, you'll be hearing more from other people on my team. Because they'll be the ones that are like we have a transaction coordinator. He's the one that makes sure that he coordinates all of the closing and the title work and all of that. And then we've got other people that schedule the appointments for the walkthroughs and stuff like that. So
I gotcha. Okay.
So yeah, you'll hear from them. But if you ever need me, just whenever you call the office line, just ask for RJ. Okay.
Okay, perfect.
All right. Well, I'll get that stuff sent over to you today, and look forward to doing some business with you guys.
All right. Awesome. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, buddy. Give me 2. Hello, this is RJ.
Yes. I'm just returning a call. That's a property I was trying to sell.
Yes. Is this Daryl?
Yes, it is.
You're trying to sell me a property in Port Arthur, isn't that right?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. How much are you looking to get for that property?
25,000.
All right. Tell me a little bit about what's going on with it.
Well, it was my mother's. She passed away. Then my brother, he was staying there after she passed away. And then he just recently died like last year.
Oh man.
And so I'm over here in Dallas, Fort Worth area, and I'm not going to be down there. And like I said, the apartment, the place it's been a year since I've been over there again. It just sitting there, so I just need to get it out of my name.
Understood.
Yeah.
I am looking at a picture, the Google Street View of the property. It looks like it's like boarded up. Is that correct?
Yeah. Someone tried to break into it. So we had some friends. My nephew had some of his friends to go by there and nail up the windows, and he had boarded up. From my understanding.
What is okay? So, what is that in the front yard? Is that a shed or?
It was a storage house, and that's been there since when my mother bought it back in the 70s when she bought it. It's been there, so they just been using it for a storage shed.
Gotcha. That is very unique. I have looked at thousands of houses, and I don't think I actually thought, like, when I initially pulled it up, I thought that was the house. And then when I moved to the side, I was like, wait, there's a house back there. Like, I've never seen that before, where they put like a shed in the front yard right there in front of the house. Okay. When was the last time the property was occupied? Like a year ago?
Yeah, I would say maybe even 2 years ago.
Gotcha.
We had some other people looking at it, some other investment, and they went around there, took pictures and stuff like that. Then they were no longer interested.
Right.
Buying the property. So.
Yeah, it looks like the condition is pretty rough. Just from what I'm seeing here, this is the Google Street View was taken in December of 2021.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when was the last time you were on the inside of the house?
Oh, I said around the time when my brother passed away, I was there. It was, I know the outside looks really bad, but
right.
The inside is much stabler. It just like needed, repainting. The floors are kind of weak. I noticed that when I was walking through, the floors were real weak.
So like subfloor issues?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It's a new roof on there.
Okay.
And like I said, one guy talked to me and said, well, he was talking about this refurbishing it and something like that right there. So I said, okay, well.
Yeah, I mean, ideally, it would be that you could just rehab it and not have to tear it down. What is this parking lot next to it? What is that too?
That was a small grocery store, mom and pop grocery store next to it. That was the parking lot.
And then they tore that down?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Gotcha. All right. Let me see here what we got going on.
Okay.
Around the area. I'm almost wondering if it would be better to potentially try to rezone this to commercial. You got the parking lot right next door. I don't know. This is it's kind of a unique type property. It says this. What is the square footage of the building? Do you know that?
No, I don't. No, I don't.
All right, let me.
Yeah, it's I don't know, it was a 2-bedroom, 1 bath, and I got a living room, dining room, and a den, and a kitchen off to the side, to the back.
Looks like it's 1424. 1,400 square feet, which is good. That's a good amount of square footage.
And the backyard, a small front yard, and a decent sized backyard, which there was a garage on the side of the house. I think they tore that down, if I'm not mistaken.
So the 25,000, if you don't mind me asking, how did you come to that number?
Well, like I said, we've been once before we tried to sell it, and never there was like maybe the guesstimate of we called and the value of the house, and it came around to that 25.
Yeah,
give or take a little. But like I said, we've been trying to get rid of the house before, and they just backed out of the deal.
Right.
And I'm like, wow. And they say it was within their inspection period. I said, okay.
Yeah, and I understand that, and I don't want to do that to you again. The reality of it is I think probably what happened, if I had to estimate what I think was happening there, is they were probably trying to wholesale it. And all of their buyers came back and said, we're not interested due to the location or the amount of work or the price. That's normally what happens in those cases. Which, I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, we wholesale a lot of properties. I've got a couple of guys down in this neck of the woods near Port Arthur that I'd love to call about this property. The reality of it is, Daryl, is that I think 25 is probably going to be too much. Just looking at the comps in the area. I mean, we've got one property on the Queen Boulevard that sold for $10,000. And I mean, looking at it, I mean, it's not like that property was in worse condition. It was a little bit smaller, so there's value there. But just looking at within a half mile of your property, we've got 7 sold properties. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We've got 2 that were built in 2013 and 2012. So you got to throw those out. So you've got everything else is built in 1962. The prices of those properties were $40,000, $64,000, $80,000, $1,000, and $10,000. To give you an idea, I mean, if I just picked the highest price one, $80,000, and then it's 1400 8th Street, so you can look that one up and see. I go and I look at the pictures of that one to see what it looked like.
Mm-hmm.
If we have pictures, it is not showing any pictures. It just sold. Come on. I can't find any pictures of it. But I'm going to assume that property was in fairly decent shape for it to sell for that. I think honestly, Daryl, it just depends on your motivation and want to sell this. I mean, I'm pretty successful at what I do as far as being able to either buy the property myself or find another investor that would be more interested in this and wholesale it. My question to you would be, if I go out and I find out that the most an investor is willing to pay for this is $15,000, is that something that you would even want to entertain?
Yeah, no problem.
I mean, because the reality of it is like that could very easily happen, you know? So I don't have a problem saying, I mean, realistically, what I would say is we probably need to try to push this out to investors at like 20,000. Because most investors, what they like to do is feel like they're getting a deal. And most of the time investors say, well, if you're asking 20 and I get it at 15, then that means I got a deal because they negotiated you down 5,000, right? And if that's the case, you know, I need to make a little bit on that. So that's kind of where I'm thinking, you know, we probably need to push it out to our buyers at 20,000, which means, you know, I can send you a contract for 15, push it out for a couple of weeks, see what all the offers we get. If we get something back at 20, then we can close. But if I come back and I say, hey man, the highest offer we got is, you know, this number, I just want to make sure that you're willing to work with me because I don't have a lot of confidence. That's just me being brutally honest with you. Just due to what I'm seeing as far as the location. The parking lot being next door is not good. It's a vacant parking lot. You know what I'm saying? That breeds vandalism and just not good stuff. And then the shed being in the front yard is a little bit unique. And then also just the condition itself. So those are my concerns. And I'm just telling you, what I think I can do for you. And if you're willing to march down that path, I think I can probably get this off of your hands here in the next month or so.
Okay.
So, all right. What I have for you as far as an email is
that's correct.
Okay. And let me verify something real quick before I let you go. I have the property. It says the owner's name is C. Green.
Yes, that was my mom.
Has this gone through probate?
Yes, it is.
And whose name is it in now? Is it in an estate name?
Let's see. From what the other company did, they opened a probate. I'm the last living
Heir
for my mother was I had a brother and a sister. My brother didn't have any kids. My sister had 2 kids. And it was me, and I have a son.
The sister's 2 kids would have rights to this. Are they willing to sign those rights away, or what's their position?
They will sign it because, like I said, we tried on another company and. It didn't, like I said, just fell through. They didn't even try.
Right.
Yeah, but yeah, because we came to agreement that we wanted to, you know, get rid of the property.
Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send the contract to you, have you sign it, and then at that point in time, when we open up title will tell us what we need to do as far as they'll probably want what's called an affidavit of heirship. For the 2 kids, and then we'll go from there. We'll let them determine what we need to do. But in the meantime, we'll get to working on trying to get the property moved and see what we can do there. As far as access to the property, is there a door that we can enter? Is there a lockbox, or how can we gain access to the property?
Okay, well, what you need to do is contact me. I have a stepsister that lives in the area.
Okay.
And she could meet you there with the keys to
Gotcha.
the
Okay. I am going to reach out to my two guys down there and see when they would be available to go take a look at that. It could be as early as today or sometime tomorrow. I'm going to go ahead and send over that contract to your email. Once you sign that, I'll send my guys out there to take a look at the property, get pictures, and then we'll get the process started. Okay, Daryl?
Okay.
All right. So keep a lookout. That contract should be in your email here shortly. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Daryl. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Man, I really don't like the deal, but every time I say that, I really don't like a deal. Magically, it's like the one that we like sell like that. But man, this one, it has a lot of reasons why it shouldn't sell. I'll say that.